It's Christmas, and that got me thinking about Christmas. Yes, looking back at the games I reviewed, and also including some that I haven't, I thought it would be a cool idea to take a look at some common Christmas cliches in video games. Now, when I say Christmas, I'm being a little lenient here, as I'm including pretty much anything wintry. There's a surprising lack of Christmas games out there, so I had to make some allowances. In any case, these are some of the common themes I've noticed. And I think it's about time we got started. There's a lot to unwrap. At number 10, we have Christmassy collections. This refers to the use of generic Christmas items as collectibles.
Hey, I found a toy part!
Some of these bear relevance to the plot, such as in The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge, in which Jack Skellington needs to restore the Christmas town tree following Oogie Boogie's invasion.
You found all the items! Now the Christmas tree is ready for Christmas!
But most often it's just a lazy collectible. Take the Polar Express game for example. This game simply has you collecting Christmas toy parts because, well, it's Christmas. I'd also say the Grinch falls prey to this cliche. Sure, you're technically destroying the presents in a PS1 game, and in Christmas Adventures you're stealing them. But this really doesn't escape the fact that the presents themselves are nonetheless generic Christmas crap. The standard Christmas collectible box is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Coming in sharply at number 9, we have Icicles. Hey! And to be clear, I would also include stalactites here, as they're pretty similar. These are often used as hazards in wintry levels, and in my opinion, they're often one of the most annoying. There are times when an icicle will drop on you from overhead and catch you by complete surprise. Hey! Honestly, this used to frighten me to death when I was a kid. That said, there are also times when falling icicles and stalactites can help you progress by forming bridges across previously impassable gaps. It might be cliched, but it's a cool idea regardless. Isn't that right, Ollie boy?
Uh-huh.
At number 8, we have what I like to call the polar palette swap. I say I like to call it that, I've never actually called it that in my life. I just needed a name for this one. These are basically enemies that have doppelgangers throughout the game, but due to the cold climate, they've undergone a wintry palette change. There may be some other subtle differences in appearance and strength depending on the game, but the enemies are basically the same as those you've encountered before. Just a different colour, usually white or blue to match the climate.
Killing in a winter wonderland.
No disrespect to the developers of course, this is quite logical. Lazy, but logical. At number 7, we have evil snowmen. These are obviously snowmen that attack you. And yes, I'm including the abominable types here as well, and whatever the hell this is. Okay, so he doesn't exactly look very Christmassy, but his name is literally the Snowman. It counts. And go on, why not this icy guy? He looks like he could do with some company. Oh, well, that's one way to break the ice.
That is not good.
Snowmen are often so innocent looking, and yet some of these guys are frankly horrifying. You might say they give me the chills. At number 6, we have evil toys. There are quite a few games that feature Christmassy or snowy levels with sentient toys that want to kill you. For a game like Monsters Inc. Scare Island, I guess this is justified, as the toys are your enemy throughout the entire game. Likewise, Kingdom Hearts 2 features toy-inspired Heartless that Oogie uses against you. But for a game like the Polar Express, there's absolutely no logic to it, and it's kind of funny to think about. The toys are just inexplicably life-threatening. Maybe Santa has some ulterior motive for travelling the world gifting killer toys to children. And I dread to think what happens when you're on the naughty list. And at number 5, we have Frozen Stiff. This is when an enemy or a hazard manages to temporarily freeze the character in place. And you either have to wriggle free or wait for the ice to break. This obviously isn't exclusive to winter-themed levels, but it is a prominent feature of these, and supremely irritating. One false move and you'll find yourself completely paralysed. Or should I say paralysed? At number 4, we have breakable snowmen. And no, these are not sentient evil snowmen like the ones I talked about earlier. These are snowmen that you're encouraged to destroy for an incentive. In SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, you're required to destroy all the snowmen, or I should say sandmen, I guess, in exchange for one of Patrick's collectible lost socks. Oogie's Revenge also contains a fair amount of these, and some are inhabited by enemies. It's one thing to have snowmen decorating a wintry setting, but so many of these games reward you for destroying them.
Another one!
It's no wonder some of these guys have it in for you when they come to life.
Maybe it's justified that they always give you a frosty reception.
At number 3, we have ice physics. This is when the characters slip and slide as they run, making it more difficult than usual to perform certain abilities. This is especially irritating in platforming sections. It's often hard to judge your distance and timing while making allowances for this setback. I've also included thin ice under this trope, which is obviously when the ice underfoot is fragile. Sometimes you'll need to be extra careful so as not to break the ice, and sometimes you'll need to purposely break it to access new areas. In any case, I thought it was best to condense all of the ice stuff in this part of the video. If I'd have done more than one entry about ice physics, I'd feel like I was cheating and padding it out.
And since I've already had 2 entries about snowmen, I fear I'm already on thin ice.
In the penultimate spot at number 2, we have snowballs. Yes, what would a snowy game be without the ability to throw snowballs? And naturally, chances are the enemies can throw them too. In fact, in Monsters Inc. Scare Island, even the usually harmless little robot nerves throw snowballs at you. Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters even features an entire level devoted to a snowball fight with some Vikings. There are also times in video games when you need to roll a snowball around and make it bigger. This is sometimes done to reach otherwise inaccessible high-up locations, or to pack more of a punch than a regular snowball. And sometimes you just need to do it for the hell of it. Of course, giant snowballs are also a common hazard.
Watch where you're going!
So many games see you flattened by snowballs. Although in some cases the characters use it to their advantage, and well, just kinda roll with it.
We're on a roll now, and fast approaching number 1. But before we get there, here's a few honourable mentions.
Well, hello everyone. Did you come to see if you're on my nice list?
First of all, I just want to mention Santa Claus. How could I make a Christmas video without mentioning this guy?
How did you get stuck here?
I was thinking about using this cave for storing the toys I make.
He doesn't seem to make many appearances in games, but I swear that whenever he does appear, you need to be on, red alert, as he usually needs rescuing.
What's Santa doing up there?
Put me down this instant! Sandy!
Another thing I considered for this list was adorable adversaries. Christmas levels are often filled with seemingly cute and cuddly critters that are ironically lethal. And that's not to mention the hugging.
Hey, who are you?
Ugh, I'm with the Grinch on this one. One other thing that happens occasionally is having to pretty much be Santa, and basically do some manual labour.
Is one of you good with him and vehicles?
Yeah, Merry Christmas. In fairness, I guess the Grinch brought this on himself, but in the Polar Express, the children need to deliver the presents to Santa's sleigh. Man, I'm feeling so disillusioned with Santa Claus right now. He's blatantly incompetent, and there isn't even any remuneration for helping out.
Wanna buy a tiny little kidney?
I'll let you punch me for $1.
Spirit of Christmas, my arse. I'll tell you what I want for Christmas, Santa. Equal pay.
Santa has such a wholesome reputation, but after what he's put me through, I just see red.
Lastly, at number 1, we have the ski slope trope.
Great!
This refers to every single skiing, sliding, tobogganing, snowboarding, sledding, belly sledding, and whatever the hell else you want to call it level in a Christmassy or snowy game.
Check me out, lady!
Literally just going down a mountain or a snowy hillside. Usually accompanied by a time limit, this is in so many of these games, it's insane. I think the worst culprit of this is the Happy Feet game.
Wow!
Really, this is basically sledding the video game. Now, in moderation, these levels can be kind of fun, but I seriously think it's overdone. In many of these instances, the character you control would be easily interchangeable. Genuinely, you could swap the characters between the games, and the gameplay would more or less be the same. Do I think this is a bad thing? Not necessarily, sometimes it can still be fun to play, it's just not very original. Whenever I reach a slope in a snowy location, I always think,
oh, here we go again. It's all downhill from here.
That is not good.
And that's just about it. There's not really much left to do besides wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. And that's from Twinkle Balls as well. Bye-bye for now.
Hey everyone! As usual, a massive thank you to my patrons, 3Spooky5Me, Anthony Gallagher, Eagle, Volico72 and Matthew Shaw. Thanks also to my free patrons, Callum Cairns, Hannah Kingdon, Michael Shields, Dennis, GamerKid96 and Mood Feig. And of course an extra special thanks to my members, 3Spooky5Me and Leo Tucker. Hope you've enjoyed the video guys, it's a little different to the usual, but I wanted to surprise you. As I've already said, hope you have a wonderful Christmas and I'll see you in the new year. Bye bye.